Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leslie. In this incarnation, we already transited the full moon in Cancer, but remember that during this week, we are going to continue to experiment its effects, the manifestations of the energy. So tomorrow, the moon is moving to Leo, and there it is going to make its monthly opposition with Pluto in Aquarius. Since Pluto is in Aquarius. So this is an energy of fire with which we can connect to focus ourselves in the things that we want to express or create. And these oppositions in occasions through some external situation, but could be only an internal experience because, as I said, this is something that happens every month. It is a minor transit. This opposition invites us to observe something that perhaps it is coming from the wounds of the inner child. Perhaps it is an aspect that is operating as a barrier that is preventing us to cultivate a healthy self-esteem. That in the end, it is recognize the love that we already are. And to be able to express ourselves from that space, because also oppositions between the moon and Pluto could activate dynamics of manipulation in certain relationships that we need to observe, that we need to have the courage to observe. So perhaps the invitation, it is also linked with letting go of wanting to fit in something in detriment of turning off our own light, sustaining a situation from control, or perhaps it is the other polarity, like rebelling against something or someone, projecting the responsibility of our own experience. So I am making emphasis in this opposition because on January 19th, the Sun enters Aquarius and it is going to create a conjunction with Pluto there that is perfected 2 days after. So with the Sun in the last degrees of Capricorn, from today, we are going to feel this conjunction. Unions between Sun and Pluto usually are instances to illuminate something that was unconscious, something that requires to be transformed, an aspect of our identity that in a symbolic way we need to allow to die, to connect with our own light and assume the power to recreate ourselves once more. This is something that happens many times in our experience. So assuming that power could be also giving leaps into the void, or letting go of situations, detaching from situations that they are not fitting or collaborating with the person that we are becoming. So this thing about trusting in these leaps into the void, trusting in the path, even though we could not know exactly where we are going. It is part of the energy of the North Node in Pisces that right now it is a conjunction with Neptune. And South Node in Virgo, certainties are not going to come from the control, the rational control are not going to come from the excess of analysis or trying to planificate, or knowing how things are going to be. Certainties are going to come in this inner listening. The problem is when the mind it is blocking that inner listening because there is a self-deceit in regarding something that is not representing growth anymore, or because what we need to approach, what we need to do is actually something that generates uncertainty, because there is this will to know the results, and the will of knowing the results actually is coming from the dualities, because people wants to know the results just to judge the results as positive or negative, when in reality everything can be actually positive if we are learning to take opportunities behind those situations. This is the thing, and the great key with Capricorn, and I know that there are very, very challenging situations at times, but the key with Capricorn, I am mixing languages, mixing the English with Spanish, because the Sun is already there, Mercury also is there, and at the end of this week they are going to perfect the harmonic aspects with Neptune in Pisces. So goals are actually giving us a north. They go beyond, they have a function beyond their results. they lead us to redirect our energy in ways that we can develop our potential. And if we are really uniting ourselves to an inner call, we are going to take that call to the concretion, to the earth, and that ends up in materialization. But we have to remember that the times that we experiment in here, they have also a higher reason. If we are understanding that reason or not, that is something else. And the most important thing is that if we are not experimenting plenitude not as this state of constant seeking of the emotion of happiness, but as feeling that we are doing what we feel we need to do, and the best that we can at the present moment. It is this practice, and doing that certainly will lead us to experiment well-being. But it is not this idealized seeking of states that are far away from the human imperfection. And we don't have to confuse this plenitude with experimenting joy every time, because the constant seeking of joy could also be something that prevents us from taking decisions that initially are uncomfortable, but in the long term they are contributing with plenitude, with a solid plenitude. So if we are not experimenting that in the process, there is something that we need to adjust, modificate, or implement, whether this is perceptions, decisions, actions, whatever thing. Or perhaps this is that is not the objective, that is not the goal, that is actually part of the purpose of the soul. And that answer, it is something that we are only going to find being very honest with ourselves, in a honest dialogue with ourselves. And sometimes, as part of finding and connecting with that answer, we need to go through the chaos that life brings to us, so later we can live in an order that is much more aligned with the essence, with our essence in the present moment. So I just wanted to leave this reflection today. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.